Good morning, friends. This is Sriyarsha from Crazy Money Tree. Today is 24th of December, and let's see what's happening in the market. What happened yesterday in the Indian market, US market, European market, and what is that you need to do today in the market, and how you need to place your trade. Let's understand everything in detail. So, if you are still not a part of my YouTube channel, go ahead and like this video, subscribe the channel, hit the bell icon so that you will get all the latest notifications. Guys, let us see what happened yesterday. I have been telling you market probably would be in the range of 13,400 to 600. That exactly happened, and it has closed on a higher note. Now, one thing we need to observe that today is option expiry. So Thursdays are option expiry, and since the expiry is going to happen, there's there are two three possibilities right now. One is on Monday we have a heavy selling which has happened. So that means the bears are very strong at 13,700 800 levels. So the bulls have actually shown their strength, and right now the strength is definitely there from 13,300 onwards. And yesterday, if I look at the option chain, 13,500 is where there is a lot of strength. So looking at that, and if I have to also consider something like the Fibonacci of the entire retracement, 11,352 is a very important level for us. As long as we hold 13,532, um, we should actually move on a higher side. But since it's an option expiry, and since there's a lot of actually pressures on all the sides, we may actually move in a tight range of maybe 100 points. But if anything abrupt happens, if some extraordinary positive or very unlikely any negative news will come, I'll tell you the reasons. Look at what happened in the US market. US market, if you see, most of them have actually Nasdaq in fact had made a good high. It made a new all-time high, but after that it actually started actually at the last few minutes. There is some amount of sell-off which we could have seen in the Nasdaq. But if you look, same kind of thing has happened with most of the other things. But overall, if I have to see, Dow Jones has actually closed. Dow Jones, S&P, all are quite flattish. But if you see the last 10-15 minutes is a little bearish on all the charts, especially only the small cap indices is still positive, still stronger. So overall, I don't see any big challenge as such, because yesterday we have made a fresh new high on Nasdaq. We have made a fresh new high on the Russell, which is the small cap index. Both of them we have made all-time new highs. So S&P and Dow Jones were not able to make any new high as such, but they were very close to the previous all-time highs. So overall, I don't see any. So some amount of profit booking is anyway advised, and say today onwards, actually there is a long weekend, because today is New Christmas Eve and tomorrow is actually Christmas. So there's a holiday, and then there is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So there's a big holiday right now. So it's a shortened week for the US market and even the European market. So if I have to look at that perspective, so some amount of profit booking has happened. I don't see any negative factor as such there. But if you look at even the European markets, especially the Germany DAX, if I have to see, we are just around 1% from the all-time highs. We have actually touched 13,601, 13,800, nearby that is the all-time high. So if you look at that, this is pretty good. Overall, I don't see any big challenge. All the European markets have also closed positive. So overall, everybody is expecting a deal of Brexit to happen, which could actually help the markets. So if I look at the overall thing, the vaccine news is very welcome. Stimulus package, now the new talks is going to go on for the stimulus package, and that is again a big positive factor. and on top of that, uh, say overall actually markets are globally quite strong. There's no reason for us to look at any kind of negative factor. uh, so if I have to look at the futures, looks like we are getting started quite positive. So looking at that, probably a big gap up opening is also possible. And look at that, the future is showing 13,682. Earlier it was showing 13,500. So see, let's look at all the possibilities. If we start actually lower at around 13,500 range, probably then we will be in a range of 13,000 500 to 600, 650. So the option chain yesterday was showing anywhere between 13,500 to 600, 650. Probably we will be in that. If we start on a higher note, there's a big gap up which happens. I don't see much upside there, because uh, a big gap up, if it is going to happen, it's difficult for it to sustain uh, until unless everything else actually helps. Or there is another possibility, the big gap up happens. If the bears are able to push the prices down, that's fine. Or else if the bulls are actually able to push the prices again up, probably it can build a big short covering rally which can actually drive the prices crazily high also. So both the possibilities are there. So overall, actually, right now markets are still in the grip of the bulls. So there's no reason for us to look at shorting. But if it's an option expiry, 13,700 and 800 is going to act as a strong resistance. So if we start on a gap up, very likely we will be in a range of 13,600 to 700. If we start on a gap of gap down by any chance, so 13,500 to 600 could be the range we will be trading. So very likely that we will be in a 100 point range. And if it is going to break that, probably another 100 points movement can happen. Any extraordinary news is going to come, especially the Brexit deal and all, and the futures are going to rally, especially the US and uh, the DAX and all. Then probably we may see some extraordinary movement. The main thing is right now the European markets as well as the US market is going to open only on Monday. So we have, even for us tomorrow is a holiday, so we are also closed. So looking at that, a lot of people don't want to carry their positions. That is one very important thing. But there's nothing which is actually looking negative as such at this point of time. So there could be another possibility that, as I said, probably it can get into that range. And probably it may try to push the prices down at the end of the session. That is also possible. And if that is going to happen, then it's a good place for us to look at buying at the end of the day, because probably on Monday we may rally or Tuesday we may rally. So overall, actually market looks even now very positive, and is still buy on dips. So I've given you all the scenarios. Either actually if we open gap down, then we will trade between 11,000 13,500 to 600. If we open gap up, very likely it is going to be a gap up. In that case, it will be between 13,600 to 700. This is the range very likely we will trade. 13,700, 750, 800, all these are going to act as a resistance. And I am doubtful that we will be able to break that until unless there's some extraordinary good news. I don't expect it to be breaking today at least. So any such thing happens, it's better to book profits and wait for the whole thing. But overall, actually markets looks quite strong. And probably looking at the way actually market have been behaving in the last 2 3 days, very likely that we will actually be able to break the previous high what we made, and we may actually close on a higher note. Maybe 13 to 40,000 could be a cakewalk. It can happen very soon. Overall, as I told you, I have told you IT and pharma are going to do good. You could see all the market leaders like Wipro, Infosys, all of them have done phenomenally well in the IT sector. Sun Pharma, Cipla, all the pharma companies have been doing phenomenally well. So the banking also has started moving, but banking for it to move higher, 30,100 is very important. Above 30,100, we need to sustain for bank nifty to actually move on a higher note. Until unless that is not going to happen, probably banking sector may be in a sideways kind of a movement at this point of time. I don't expect any big momentum to happen until unless the global market rallies and the overall market rallies. Probably we may see sharp short coverings even happening in the banking indexes, and all the stocks may actually drive crazily high. That's quite possibility from the banking sector. So overall, as I said, guys, it's buy on dips. And if you look at the gold, silver, and crude oil, as I told you, they may still actually get into a positive zone. So that's exactly what is happening. We are still in the sideways zone. We are not going to go anywhere until unless we break on the higher note for the gold and silver, and the crude oil at the higher level, very likely we will again get into a sell mode. So overall, it is until unless we in the stock market keeps moving higher, crude oil may actually keep moving on a higher note. For the gold silver, I think the stimulus is the main key element right now. We need to see how actually it's going to react after the stimulus is going to come, or if any other thing is going to happen, if it can actually take the prices still more higher, or probably from there we will get a sell off. We will have to have wait and watch what is going to be the situation. Will we start seeing a much bigger rally, or actually from here the prices are going to correct, is something which we have to see. Overall, at this point of time, gold silver has been in a consolidation phase, and probably it may again try to move on a positive note. So gold silver is still on the positive side from the fundamentals. Crude oil is fundamentals are still quite weak. I'm not expecting any big thing to happen in the crude oil. It may be more on the sideways, and at the higher levels it could be more on the sell mode. So that's what actually you need to look at that. Overall market looks quite strong, guys, and you should look at the buy on dips as the strategy. And very likely we will actually be in a tight range. I am not expecting after a big gap up, don't try to buy in. I am very doubtful about if the market can actually hold on to that. It's quite unlikely. um, but if actually the global markets are going to support, and if we can move higher, it's very important for you to book your profits and move out of it, because the gap is quite large, and it may very likely to get filled sooner or later. Okay, so if you have liked this video, guys, click on the like button, subscribe the channel, hit the bell icon so that you will get all the latest notification. If you are not a part of my telegram channel, go on join Crazy Money Tree, search for Crazy Money Tree and go and join that. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great and profitable day.